Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a fabulous day. Today I have a bit of a different video, something that I've never done on my channel before, and that is a first impression. The item that I wanted to discuss is the Louis Vuitton Speedy Bandouliere 25 in the Monogram canvas. The reason why I wanted to do this video, actually there's a few different reasons. The first one is because I recently started using it over this past weekend, and I've also been getting quite a few questions as to how I'm liking it, is there something that I don't like about it, and most importantly, I just wanted to give you my first initial thoughts on this bag before I do an in-depth review. Usually when I do a review, I like to use the item for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, just to really be able to assess it and be able to give you the pros and cons that I have found. So there are a few things that I noticed right off the bat. I wouldn't necessarily call them concerns, but just items or just things that I want to keep in the back of my mind. That way, when I do end up doing my review, it's something that I can look back on and I can see if these details, if these initial feelings towards the bag is something that will either go away or something that will maybe make me think differently about the bag. Now, since I've never done one of these videos, I apologize in advance if it's all over the place. I didn't plan on making this video, but I thought it would be really interesting, especially if you are on the fence about adding this item and maybe you want a little bit more information before you take the plunge. But like I said, I will be doing an in-depth review on this, and I really hope that this helps, but I have a feeling that this video might be all over the place, so just bear with me. Usually I have a system as to how everything goes, but I don't know. I don't know. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing that I wanted to discuss is the size. As most of you know, when it comes to Speedies, I tend to prefer the classic Speedy. I tend to prefer the size 30 over any other size. But when it comes to a bandolier bag, I feel that the 25 suits my body frame the best. And it's kind of funny, especially since I just said I prefer the 30, but I feel that the 30 looks best on my body frame as a hand carry. And like I said, the bandolier looks better on my body frame, you know, just crossbody. I did try the 30 once upon a time bandolier, and I just felt that it was a little too large. Kind of like the 35 felt a little too big hand carry. It might seem a little weird, like I said, saying that, but again, I feel that for my body frame and my personal preference, I like the size 30 for hand carry and the size 25 for bandolier. Now, I also have to say that even though I do have a few mini bags in my collection, when I first saw this bag, I figured, what if it's too small? The what ifs started coming in. You know, I'm thinking, what if it doesn't fit enough? What if it doesn't this? What if it doesn't that? And as most of you know, a lot of people refer to the Speedy as a black hole because it's so easy to lose your items in there. You could just throw things in there, and it's kind of like the Neverfull in the sense that you can carry just about everything and the kitchen sink in here. And I will have to say that I've been getting a lot of questions as to how many items I can fit in here. Do I have to go compact? Do I have to minimize what I'm actually carrying? And I am happy to say that the same items that I was carrying last week in my Neverfull, I was able to fit in here without a problem. And these are the 7 daily essentials that I always tend to carry. They might vary as far as the brand or the print, but these 7 items, oops, I'm getting my hands tangled up. These 7 items here were all fitting in my Neverfull last week, and they all fit in my Speedy Bandouliere. So I'm very happy about that. I didn't really have to switch anything out. The only thing to know is that my wallet is the Chanel O-Zip wallet, so it is fairly small. And I already know that I'm not going to be able to fit a large size wallet without having to tilt it on its side. And I will talk about that in just a second. So for the most part, those 7 essentials fit in here without a problem. Something else that I have to say is that it seems like it's a lot easier to find the items in here versus the 25 or versus the 30 because there's a lot less space. I mean, there's only so much that you can fit in. I mean, there's only so much, you know, so many places where the items can go. So I feel that it's a lot easier to retrieve the items because it's a smaller space. So I find that it's not difficult to retrieve the items whatsoever. So I also wanted to discuss that. Now, there's also a few other things that I've absolutely been loving about this bag, and that is the strap itself. This strap is so incredibly comfortable. And since I've been using it for the last couple of days, so it's still fairly new, the leather is, I wouldn't say stiff, but obviously it's not as, you know, it's not as soft as the leather would be after I've used it for a month or 2 months. But even with the somewhat stiffness of the leather, it is still very, very, very comfortable. I find that this strap is a lot more comfortable than the Pochette Métis. Of course, the biggest difference is that this is leather and the Pochette Métis has a canvas strap, but I can only imagine that as this starts to age, as this starts to patina, and as it softens up, how much more comfortable it will be. So I'm super excited about that. So this strap is I mean, it's wonderful. I love it. And, you know, I find that when I have this bag kind of sitting on my chair or on the desk or something like that, it's so easy for me to just grab it and then I just kind of throw it over, you know, over my head, and I use it crossbody. It's just, I don't know, it sounds kind of ridiculous to say that, but it's not a fussy bag for me to be able to just grab and just kind of throw on, you know what I mean? I feel that sometimes with some other crossbody bags, you have to set them a certain way to be able to just grab and go, if that makes sense. I don't know if it's making sense, but I just really like the ease of just grabbing it and then just kind of throwing it over. So I love that. Something else that I've been really loving about this is the dual zipper. Now, this is the first bag that I've had that has, or this first Speedy that I've had that has the dual zippers, and I am loving it for a very small reason, but I still thought that it might be interesting to some of you guys, and that is the fact that for the most part, when it comes to my Speedies, I like to, or any bag in general, I like to leave my bag open. I feel that it's easier to retrieve the items. I don't have to fumble as much, especially if you're at the checkout, you know, if you're constantly zipping it open and close, open and close. I don't know. Sometimes it bothers me, so that's why I always leave it open. But what I really like about this is that you can leave one side open if you want to and have the other side closed. So it's a little bit more secure, but this small opening, let's say that you're getting out your coin pouch, or if I'm getting out my keys or something like that, I can still retrieve it with ease, and then the other part is still zipped up. So again, I just feel that it's a little bit more of a sense of security because it doesn't have the entire open zipper. But I mean, I don't know. I really like that. I haven't put the lock on here yet. I don't know why, to be honest, but I will be rocking the lock on these guys here. So I just feel that it was important to say that just in case some of you don't like the fact that the other Speedies are a little bit more, you know, the classic Speedies, you have to open it all the way or close it all the way. I know that you can do this, but again, you have a little open space here, and then you have this closed, or you can just push this over as you open it. So I don't know, I like it. I like it. I appreciate the dual zipper. So I thought I would mention it. I also wanted to make note about something that a few other people have been asking me, and that's if I find that the buckle ends up kind of getting tangled up in my hair, since I do have long hair, and I haven't had a problem with it whatsoever. I've kind of moved it around this past weekend, and I didn't have any issues. I didn't have anything when it was kind of pulling on my hair or anything like that, so I thought I would mention that as well. I will have to say that the other day I used it as a hand carry bag, and it just kind of confirms my love for the 30 as a hand carry. I felt that it was a little too small. I felt that I ended up overwhelming the bag. So I think moving forward, unless I change my mind, I will only stick to this bag as a bandouliere or as a crossbody. But I do 100% appreciate the fact that it does have so much versatility. When it comes to Speedies, the smaller the bag, the smaller the opening. That's something that I already knew from the very beginning. I knew that the opening wasn't going to be as generous as it is on the 35. I knew it wasn't going to be as generous on the 30, but I did notice something, and that is when I was transferring all my items into this bag, this Chanel O case that is in the red lambskin, when I would fit it in here, let's see if I can do it with one hand. When I fit it in here, I noticed that when I put it in like so, both sides of the O case ended up rubbing up against these zippers. Now, I noticed that it doesn't happen with my 30. It obviously doesn't happen with a Neverfull or anything like that. And usually I like to just throw my items inside of my bag, and then I like to fix them accordingly. But the only reason why this is something to keep in the back of my mind is because even though I'm not careful with this O case, it is a lambskin, I feel that if I'm constantly pulling this, taking this out and putting it back in, I'm wondering how much more it'll end up rubbing up on the zippers. And obviously with the zippers rubbing up against lambskin, then I will start to see wear that I normally wouldn't have on there. So that's something that I was kind of thinking, is it going to continuously happen? I know that the canvas is as it is. It's not leather, but it might end up relaxing somewhat because it's still fairly new. So I'm hoping that that'll end up happening. But again, that's something to just know with the opening. So it kind of freaked me out. I was kind of thinking, okay, I opened it up as much as I could and then I popped it in there. But when it comes to small leather goods, you guys know that I don't like to be fussy. I like to get the item, put it back, and I don't want to overthink how I'm putting my items inside. And that's what I also wanted to discuss is the size of the wallets. So currently, as I mentioned, I am using the O case. It is very small, so it's very easy to just be able to just pop in here, no problem. Now, when it comes to using a larger wallet, such as the Louis Vuitton Insolite wallet, and I also have the Chanel zipped wallet, these guys, depending on the zipper, as far as I have it, if I have it all the way on the outside, the Insolite wallet, there's no way that it'll fit, being able to fit it in like so. I'd have to tilt it on its side in order to fit it in. So it's somewhat fussy for the most part, and I know it might not be a big deal to some of you guys, but I'm just showing a comparison as to some of the other bags that I've had. I'm getting all tongue-tied too. So this guy I have to put on its side. Same thing with the zipped wallet. I have to put it on its side in order to fit it in. So I'm just thinking, if I'm at the checkout, I'm wondering if it'll just be a pain in the butt to the point where I only have to use compact wallets. I do have a slightly larger wallet than this. It is the just the zipped. Is it the zipped wallet? The small zip wallet from Chanel. It's a little bit bigger, but it'll still be compact enough for me to put it in here. So, like I said, these are just my random initial thoughts. So, the bigger wallets definitely won't fit in there like so. You have to put them on its side. And of course, the bigger they are, it takes away from how much you're fitting inside of the bag. Even though it is a bottomless pit, even though it is a black hole, as some people say, you can still, because there isn't too much space, again, there's only so much that you're going to be able to fit in there. So aside from the wallet size and aside from the zipper just being a little too close for comfort when I end up putting my items in here, I have to say that overall, I am very, very excited to be using this bag. I feel that it might end up giving the Pochette Métis a run for its money. I still like the Pochette Métis quite a bit because of the pockets that it has. It's very easy to organize your items without having to use a purse organizer. And I've had a lot of you ask me if I use purse organizers. I don't. I don't use base shapers. I do appreciate them, but it's not for me. I like the natural sag of a Speedy. I like the fact that sometimes I have to ruffle through my items, not to the point where it's too fussy, but I'm just saying it doesn't bother me. And I've also had a lot of you ask me if I end up treating the leather on the Speedy. I don't treat the leather on any of my handbags, not at all. Again, that's something that I prefer not to do. I don't mind having the beauty marks. I don't mind if there's water stains. I don't mind if there's any wrinkles, because I feel that it gives the bag a lot of character. So that's also something that I discussed in a recent post that I had on Instagram. If you follow me, I said that I'm not going to baby this bag whatsoever. I'm going to use it as such, and I think that it'll end up bringing me a lot more joy than personally. I'm not trying to say that, some of you might think differently, but I feel that it'll bring me more joy if I'm able to just use it and not have to think about it twice, not have to baby it. So I'm really excited about it. I'm wondering, like I said in the beginning, I'm really curious to see if the zipper, you know, might drive me crazy. I'm curious to see if, you know, having to go into a smaller wallet when I go into this will bother me. I highly doubt that, only because, as I said in the beginning, I also have a few other mini bags, and when I use the mini bags, I don't use a giant wallet. I'm used to having to go into a smaller one. So again, these are just my random thoughts. I don't know, you know, like I said, if this video is going to be helpful, but it's something that I really wanted to share with you all. But overall, I'm happy. I'm super happy, and who knew that the 25 Bandouliere is something that I would be stoked about. You know, like I said, I'm a classic type of person. I'm a classic Speedy type of person. I like the 30, and it's insane how when you put the size 25 next to a 30, how much bigger it looks. It's only a 5 centimeter difference, but like I've said in other videos, whether you go for the 35, the 30, the 25, or the 20, they are all worlds apart. So I'm excited to see what's in store for me with this bag and the adventures that it's going to go on with me. So I hope this video was able to help. I'm sorry if it was all over the place, but if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want me to do more first impressions, hopefully I'll be able to to organize my thoughts a little bit better. But if you would like me to continue to do this, let me know in the comment section down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the little bubble up here with my face. And if you want to check out a few other videos, I think that you will find these interesting. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.